We are one. We are one. We are all one in God. We are love. We are love. We are all the love of God. Beauty surrounds me, falling at my feet as I hear the calling of the Holy One in me. We are whole. We are whole. We are all the wholeness of God. We are strength. We are strength. We are all the strength of God. Beauty surrounds me, falling at my feet as I hear the calling of the Holy One in me. We are made. We are made. We are all made of God. We are one. We are one. We are all one in God. We are. We are. We running till my bones are aching, pushing past the point of breaking. Rose on my boat, but I will make it. It's who I am. It's not this race, but how I'm running. Not who I was, I'm becoming. Steady on, I'll finish strong on this path. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Good morning. The vibe is high in here today. Welcome to Unity Columbine Spiritual Center, where centered in God, we celebrate a world of harmony, peace, and abundance for all. And today we have, again, as every Sunday, some fantastic music for you. So let's all stand and join in our first joy song.
Well, good morning. Can you put your hands together? Oh, everybody, get up on your feet and see the light in everybody you meet. Oh, everybody, get up on your feet and see the light in everybody you meet. Oh, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Come on, sing that. Sing. Everybody, get up on your feet. Oh, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet and see the light in everybody you meet. Oh, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Well, come on, let us make a joyful sound. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet and see the light. Everybody, you need. Everybody, get up on your feet. Yeah. See the light. Everybody, you meet. Oh, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
And speaking of family, let's bring up the children now and meet one of our families. So this is the time we honor our children. We will hear from them a little bit and then bless them and stand for our second joy song. Good morning, Jeannie.
Morning, Columbine. So all the kids come up. I think it's about half the congregation here. We have so many fun people with us today. And we have our featured family, which is really exciting. So I think we'll let the featured family go first. If you guys, you can just stay right there.
Hi everyone, we're the Lingenfelters, Lingenfelter 4 here. I'm Carrie. I host a conscious parenting podcast for raising mindful kids.
And I'm Dan. I'm a software engineer during the day.
I'm Lily.
I'm Benny, I'm 9. Horizons KA.
Thank you, featured family. So we have a couple things. It is October, and at the end of October, do you guys know what happens at the end of October? Halloween. So what we do here, we have a really, really favorite activity. So the last Sunday in October, which is the 27th, we're going to do, usually it's trunk or treat, but we're calling it table or treat. Because last year and the year before, I think it snowed us out. So we're going to meet in Foss Hall, and we're going to decorate tables. So we need any of you that want to participate in decorating, any of you to sign up. It's in the digital bulletin, or on the digital bulletin. It's on the website. So we need you to sign up for that, and we're looking forward to it. And I'm trying to think. Oh, today we are going to be talking about the last unity principle. We're kind of a week behind you guys. So the 5th unity principle, which is I live. So we have a lot to do. So you can bless us out.
We love you.
Well, go ahead and stand back up on your feet this morning. Let's sing together. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, no, no. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Oh, and this love, say this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, no, no. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. No, the world didn't give it. Say the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away.
So one of the ways that we hang on to that, as that song is telling us, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away, is through prayer and meditation. So this is the time in our service that we focus on that. And today we will have, as usual, some music leading into it, and then prayer and meditation led by our prayer chaplain, Beth Overstreet.
Peace, peace, wonderful peace fills my heart and my mind and my soul. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in fathomless billows of love. Oh, peace, peace, wonderful peace fills my heart and my mind and my soul. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in fathomless billows of love. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in fathomless billows of love.
Take a deep breath. Really be present right now. right here. Let the love of God, the love of Spirit flow through you. God is all. And because God is all, He is part of us. God is part of us. We are part of the Spirit. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that in our day-to-day lives. We can't always choose what happens to us, but we can always choose how we're going to respond to that, whatever it is. And today, we choose loving kindness. We choose to exemplify that deep, true part of ourselves that is part of the one. And we recognize that each individual we come in contact with is also part of the one. We are so grateful that we can live from a place of prayer and peace and recognize that even when we are hurting, even when we have challenges. What a joy that is. And as our wonderful community, we can reach out to each other when we're feeling that pain. We can ask to be reminded of the truth of who we are. And we can share kindness. We can share the love that we are. And in sharing that love, we hold all the individuals who are in our prayer box. We hold them, all the individuals who are on our prayer list. We hold the space for them when they cannot hold it for themselves, because we are a community, one together, with love and light. So it is. And now we move into a few moments of meditation.
Je t'aime,
Te amo,
ja tebe lublю.
ani ohevet ocha.
I love you.
The sounds are all as different as the lands from which they came.
are still the same. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. We teach the young our differences, yet look how we're the same. We love to laugh, to dream our dreams. We know the sting of pain.
From Leningrad to Lexington, straight from the heart. The farmers all together, misty-eyed, their daughters walk. Oh, and maybe when we realize how much there is to share, we'll find too much in common to pretend it isn't there.
Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Though the rhetoric of governments may keep us worlds apart, there's no misinterpreting the language of the heart. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. Once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, fluently spoken
Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. Thank you, Columbine Singers, John, Sydney, Blessing, Ryan. That was fantastic, and what a perfect segue into today's message, which is about love. It's about seeing the connection, about seeing our similarities and not seeing our differences, and seeing that we're all one. So beautiful. Yesterday I went to my oldest granddaughter's gymnastics meet. I'm not hearing that I'm on. Am I on? Okay. She's 10. And, you know, gymnastics, if you've ever been to a gymnastics meet, oh, yeah. But, you know, you're there for 3 hours to see about, 2 minutes of them perform. But what I loved about it is that they so support each other. Like they just applaud each other. They really connect with each other and they're just there for each other. It's just beautiful. Yesterday I came across a quote that is by E.M. Forster in the book Howard's End, which probably many of you have heard. It was a movie. And the first 2 words of the book are only connect. Only connect. Only connect. It's a way to opening up. It's a way to living from the heart, to connect. Of course, in the book, he talks a lot about, the theme is more about connecting the head to the heart. But we can connect the head to the heart. We can also connect to each other. We can also connect to everything in nature. We can also connect to ourselves and to the spirit that is within us, the divinity that is in each one of us. And here at Columbine, we give you this opportunity to connect by having a small group program every fall. This year, our fall program is based on this book, The Sacred Art of Loving Kindness by Rabbi Rami Shapiro. It's a fantastic book. And it's an opportunity for you to connect with other people in this community, to witness each other, to allow everyone to be heard. And it's a great way to make friendships. A lot of people have made close friends from these groups that they've been in. I know some of the closest people I am to people in this community have come from those small groups that I've been a part of. And so if you haven't signed up for a group, there is still some space in maybe one spot. I'm getting the finger from Ann. One finger, the pointer finger. Boy, where your minds go. Jeez. But it's an opportunity to connect. And with everything that's going on in the world, with everything that's going on in our country and society, I think cultivating more loving kindness couldn't be more timely. That we need to find ways to be more kind. Kevin Anderson, who's a psychotherapist, and he writes for Spirituality and Health magazine, said of the thousands of people that he has counseled, couples that he has counseled, almost always what they need is more kindness for each other. More kindness. And he says, the block to kindness is I'm right and you're wrong. The biggest block is that we only see our side and not the other side. We don't have a wide enough vision or perspective. So this book, the question at the heart of this book, Rami says, will you engage this moment with kindness or with cruelty? With love or with fear? With generosity or scarcity? With a joyous heart or an embittered one? That's your choice. And he also says that heaven and hell are both within us. We get to choose where we reside. We get to choose. And so this book goes through the 13 attributes of loving kindness, which are described in Judaism. They're realizing the divinity of self, realizing the divinity of other, cultivating creativity, engineering compassion, finding grace, acting with equanimity, creating kindness, bringing forth truth, preserving kindness, forgiving inequity, forgiving willfulness, forgiving error, and cleansing yourself of delusion is the final one. Yeah. So I have absolutely loved this book. The last winter, I was taking a Kabbalah class. I took 2 Kabbalah classes, and Laura, who's our music and admin coordinator, had an extra copy, and she gave me this book. She thought I might like it, and oh my gosh, did I love this book. It's got a lot of practices in it, it's got stories in it, and it's written so clearly. And as soon as I read it for the first time, I knew this was going to be the book we're going to use this fall. And the timing seems perfect, given what's going on in the world. And so I want you to get a little sense of our author. And so I've got a video of Rabbi Rami being interviewed. He was about to do a retreat. Now, this was 14 years ago, so he looks a little different now. He's got a column in Spirituality and Health magazine, so you can see him with the little longer, whiter beard. But his message about the book is really good. So let's watch that.
Rami, can you tell us, how would you describe loving kindness?
You know, it sounds like it should be a very simple thing to define, but it really isn't. So let me try to come up with a definition, and then we can massage it some other time. But I would think loving kindness is essentially the capacity to get beyond yourself. That we have 2 inclinations in our psyches. One that leads us towards selfishness and one that leads us towards selflessness. Both of them can go wrong. So I think loving kindness is when you have a balance between the 2. So in the Jewish world, we would quote Rabbi Hillel, who was perhaps a teacher of Jesus, who says, if I'm only for myself, he says, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? But if I'm only for myself, what am I? So it's that balance. And I think that it's ultimately this capacity to realize that you and I are part of a greater reality. And when I do realize that, then to be for myself is also to be for you. And to be for you is also to be for me. And so you naturally have the Leviticus statement of love your neighbor as yourself.
Well, you mentioned that statement in your book that it's not love your neighbor as you love yourself, like your neighbor is yourself.
Right,
Can you say something about
it's
that?
A very misunderstood statement. It says love your neighbor as yourself. We always hear it as love your neighbor as you love yourself. But it doesn't talk about loving yourself. It's the realization that your neighbor is yourself, that there is no separation between you and I. That we have this notion that I end here, but that's ridiculous. If you actually ended here, you'd be dead. You need the whole world, the whole universe, really, to survive. And so everyone we meet and everything we encounter is all part of ourselves. So I need to love my neighbor as a part of myself. And when I realize she's a part of myself, or if we're talking about inanimate things, they're a part of myself, then I have that sense of, compassion for them. I have that sense of I'm taking care of myself as I take care of them. I'm taking care of them as I take care of myself. And then again, you go for that balance.
It's like a real insight of the mystics to come again to us.
Right, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
In your book, you also talk about the biblical attributes of loving kindness. Could you say something about that?
Well, there are 13 of them. We won't go through all 13. It gets too long. But the core is the first 2, I would say, or maybe even the first 3. In the Bible, you find this passage where Moses wants to see God. God says, you can't see me face to face, but I'll put you in the cleft of the rock. I'll cover you with my hand and I'll walk by. And Moses has an auditory, what would you call it? I don't want to say hallucination, but an auditory experience. And he hears these 13 attributes of God. And the first 3 are, the first 2 are the ineffable name of God. So Adonai, Adonai. And the third one is El. And then it goes into things like compassion and patience and things that we can understand. But these first 3 are crucial. So the first Adonai, the first ineffable experience that Moses has, is the realization that everything is God. The second one is the realization then that he's also God. And then the third one is when you realize that self and other are both part of this greater reality, then you realize Ale is the creative energies of God, that you are intrinsically creative, which means you're free to reinvent the next moment. You're not forced to relive the last one. So when you have that experience of the divine permeating everything, including yourself, including the other, then creativity becomes a natural outpouring of that experience, and you're free to act in a loving way.
That is so profound and so exciting to try to live that way.
Yeah, well, try is
Yes.
the operative word there.
You have one statement in your book that says, fear holds us from living loving kindness. Could you say something? What does fear do to us?
I think that our primary struggle is with this whole notion of fear. Fear contains us, fear holds us back. Fear comes from the failure to realize that we are part of this divine unfolding. And it comes from the notion, erroneous notion, that we are separate. And if I'm separate, then I'm vulnerable. And if I'm vulnerable, I'm also fragile. And then I have to worry about everything. You know, what's going to break and what's going to hold and all of that. So then I worry about everything. Will this relationship last? Will this job last? And nothing lasts. I mean, that's what Ecclesiastes tells us. Nothing lasts. But when I'm fearless, because I realize I'm not a separate, fragile, isolated being, but I'm part of this creative, ongoing unfolding. When I'm fearless, then I'm free to be the unique manifestation of God that I'm intended to be.
So, if you've been paying attention the last few weeks, it's really in alignment with unity principles. Everything he's saying, he talked about oneness. That's our first principle. He talked about how we are that. If everything is God, then we too are God or divine. And that we have to act, that we have to put it into practice. Did you say that? Maybe you didn't say that. We'll get to that. Anyway. It's so in alignment with what we teach here, and so that's why I'm excited to use this book. And he also uses a lot of different faith traditions, not just Christianity, not just Judaism, but Hinduism and Buddhism, and it's just a really beautiful book. And so I want us to do an exercise. We're going to try something different, and if you're able to, I'd love for you to stand up and find a partner or two, if it works out better to do 3 of you. Okay, I know it's really tempting to just have a conversation now, but we've got an exercise to do. So with your index finger, or each other, without touching the other person, start at the right side of their forehead and draw a 7. Draw a 7. This is the Hebrew letter Yod. The Hebrew letter Yod. Then the second letter that we're going to draw is Hey. This is the shape of the shoulders and the arms. And so start with your hands on your partner's sternum. Well, okay, don't touch unless somebody is okay with you touching them. Just trace it with the sternum and draw an outline across the shoulders and down both arms. The third Hebrew letter is Vav. It runs down your torso or spinal column. So use your finger to draw a line from just below the sternum to the pelvis. Don't linger at the pelvis. This is what he said. Okay, the fourth and final letter of God's name is Hey. Draw a line across your neighbor's hips and down both legs to the feet. If you'd put the screen, Tom, the image. So you just drew the letters for Yahweh. Yad, He, Vav, He. the Hebrew letters for Yahweh look like a person, right, when they're stacked vertically. And so now step back from your neighbor and imagine that you're seeing this Yahweh. You're seeing this Yahweh. The name of God is their body. It's not written on their body, but it's actually the body itself, is the name of God. And so now tap as many people as you are close to and say, image of God, image of God, image of God, image of God. Image of God. Oh yeah, image of God. Image of God. Okay, you can be seated. So, image of God. Not yet the likeness of God, which I never knew there was a distinction. Here in the book of Genesis, we're created in the image and likeness of God. But according to Rabbi Rami, the image, we are all created in the image of God, but we have to choose to be the likeness of God. It's how we show up. And the more we see the image of God in ourselves and the image of God in other people, we will naturally want to show up as the likeness of God. That we will show up with kindness, with loving kindness, because we recognize that that person and standing in front of us is God, is divine, is worthy, and we don't have to do anything to earn it. We just earn it, have it, because we exist. We are worthy because we're here. We are worthy because we're breathing, not because we've done anything, but we're here. And so we can use these 7 weeks to practice this, to cultivate this. And like you said in the video, it's really important to get these first 2, the divinity of self and the divinity of others. These are the first 2 attributes of loving kindness, to really, really take this in. And that's Unity's second principle. We are the image, and we get to choose to be the likeness of God. There's a Jewish tradition that says or a legend, if you will, a legend that says there's an angel in front of each of us saying, "Behold the image and likeness of God." Behold, behold, behold the image. And how would you feel like somebody's announcing you before you step anywhere? There's always an angel announcing you. And it means to see this in them. Behold, be sure to see that this is the image and likeness of God. Be sure to see it in yourself. Behold the image of God in yourself. What a difference our whole world, it would make to our whole world and everything going on in our world if we saw this, if we truly saw this. And if we acted with loving kindness towards each other. It would make a huge difference to our world. And so we get to practice that these 7 weeks. I believe it's something we all know this in our heart. We all know that there's something more than this self, than this body. And that's the spirit, this image of God that we want to express from, that we want to be more of, to show up more like that. It's not easy in our world because when we leave here, a lot of people don't behave that way, don't act that way. when we were traveling, Kevin and I, this summer, and we were in a lot of different airports and around Europe, and people don't always show their best selves at the airport. They don't. And I just got into a practice, and I told Kevin, so he was doing it too, and I'd go, image of God, image of God, image of God, image of God. Oh, aren't they precious? They're those images of God. But, you know, you can have fun with it. Image of God. Because we all are that. That's how we were created. We are innately good. Innately good. And so this year, it's been a while since we had a paper study guide, but as you walk out, everyone can get a paper study guide if you're in a group or not, because you can work on if you're not in a small group. And I really encourage you, that one spot's going to go fast, Ann, to be in a group, to connect, only connect, as E.M. Forster said. And so the study guide is got heart agreements. It's how we're going to show up for each other. Make sure that you read those. Make sure that you're familiar with those. Make sure that you agree with those, that's how we're going to show up for each other in our small groups. It's important to create a safe space. And then each week there are 5. One week I think there's 6 questions, but each week there are 5 questions. You might not get through them all. So don't get mad at your facilitator if you don't get through all the questions. There's always a check-in question, which is kind of a little fun and kind of, you know, whatever, just to keep things light at the beginning. And answer these questions for yourself before you go to your group. Or if you're not in a group, answer them for yourself. The first one is, what intentions do you set for yourself as we study this material? My intention is that I'm more kind, that I witness more kindness, that I see us really connecting, this whole community, doing the same body of work, studying the same book. There's more kindness. And then one of the questions also this week is about the difference between narrow mind and spacious mind. He talks about this in the chapters. Narrow mind is when we feel separate, when we feel afraid, when we're blocked off, when we're not connecting, when we're protecting ourselves from this big bad world. And the reactivity that comes from being in that state of mind. Where a spacious mind is broad, it's loving, it's accepting, not tolerating, more than tolerating, but accepting. And so for me, when I find myself get into narrow mind when I feel hurt, when I feel betrayed, when I feel undervalued or unworthy. And it's so easy when I'm in that state to react instead of respond, to get defensive. When I'm in spacious mind, like when I'm reading material like this, when I attended the Mary Magdalene retreat and just felt all this love, then I can respond. It's a big difference in how we interact with people, how we connect with the people, if we're in spacious mind or narrow mind. We have to remember who we are. Remember. This week, Mike King, who's our board treasurer, he's sitting in the back there. You want to wave your hand, Mike? No, maybe not. Okay, he's back there. He said, he made a suggestion that we call this vestibule out here the Hall of Remembrance. The Hall of Remembrance. Ann and Raven and I this week were trying to figure out, okay, where could we put a banner? Where could we put a sign? The Hall of Remembrance. So as you cross that threshold, you remember who you are. When you're in this sanctuary, we remember that we are divine. We remember that each of us is divine. What a great way to remember that when we're here. This morning I was just feeling really off, getting dressed this morning and I put on many different things, and I lost probably in one of my changes, like 6 or 7 different outfits before I decided what to wear. My red thread came off my arm. It's pretty loose and it's stretched out and it's about ready to fray anyway, but I lost it. And I'm like, oh no, that's my remembrance of love. And I was driving here and I'm like, realized that it wasn't there. It's probably at home, but I don't need that remembrance when I'm here. I don't need that reminder when I'm here. The Hall of Remembrance. Mike also sent me this graphic, which I thought was just perfect for today. The way you alchemize a soulless world into a sacred world is by treating everyone as if they are sacred until the sacred in them remembers. Isn't that beautiful? And I love that it used the word alchemize because it does feel like magic. It does feel mysterious, like how that works. Treat people as if, whether they're expressing that way or not, which is the challenge. Because we got, that humanness, we get that. We don't always express from that the best loving part of ourselves. And so that's the invitation. These next weeks, these 7 weeks of this program, to cultivate more loving kindness, cultivate more joy, more love, more peace in your world by having more loving kindness and seeing, beholding. Imagine that angel announcing, behold the image and likeness of God. The image and likeness of God as you come in here next week. Think of that. There's an angel announcing your presence into the sanctuary, and you are here, and you are it, and you are divine, and you are worthy, and you are here, and loved, and present, and so grateful to be a part of a community that helps me remember that. Look for the good in everyone. It's our next song. Come on up, Columbine singers and band, because yay.
I think you should probably turn to your neighbor again and say, image of God. We need to practice that more. I like that. When you see your kids acting up, you just look at them and say, image of God.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Hey. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all had. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate. Look for the good in everyone and celebrate all of our mistakes. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. pain. I see who you are, you're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are, I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. So keep on trying. Keep on trying. When it gets Friday, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Oh, look for the good. 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 Look for the good in everyone. Come on, play it, Sydney. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Oh, yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good. Oh, yes, life sure would be sweeter if everybody would. Look for the good in everything. I think you should stand up and maybe move around a little bit. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Oh, look for the good. Look for the good in everything. Oh, look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Image of God.
Kim, Marie, Bill, Andy, Ryan, Brooke, Bonnie, Sydney, John, and a new member today, Blessing Chimanga. Thank you for joining us. Wow. I think we're all stirred up now. So let's really inject that into our purpose statement. We commit to increasing our spiritual awareness, diversifying our community, manifesting our highest potential, and positively impacting the world. And we're all so grateful that you are here, starting your Sunday by impacting all of us by your presence. Thank you for being here. This is the time in our service when we also invite you to impact our community financially. There are many ways you can do that. You can see those options up on your screen. But there's also the option of dropping something into the offering bag as it goes through the sanctuary. And also just placing your hand over and offering a little blessing. So as the offering bags go through, before we do that, let's say our offering blessing together. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. And then as the offering bags make their way through the sanctuary, let's turn and say hello to our online viewers. We're so glad that we have technology that allows us to do this. Hello out there in virtual land. We're glad that you can join us. And anytime any of you are traveling or not feeling great, you know you have that option to be here anyway, in that way. And if you're here in the sanctuary for the first time, or maybe the first time in a long time, welcome. We're glad you're here in 3D, as I like to say. And please join us in Foss Hall afterwards for refreshments and socializing and community. So I'm going to blitz through. We have quite a few community news things. Today, the Good Grief group meets. Karen, are you here? Yes. Karen will lead that downstairs starting at 11:30. And if you have any questions, look for her in Foss Hall. We have a new group led by one of our prayer chaplains, Lena Perez. Lena, will you stand up, please? She's offering a healing circle that will be every second Sunday after our service. So look for details of that in your Thursday update or check in with Lena. Thank you for offering that, Lena. Jeannie talked about table or treat. So get your creativity flowing. See what you can think of that could be on a 6-foot table. And it's a way for us to really connect with the younger children that we have here. And I think sometimes the child in each of us can really enjoy Halloween as well. So dress up. Dress up a table. Okay, we have a call for artists. And Lisa, would you stand up so people can see you? Lisa Tusignan leads our art show each year, and she can answer questions for you about that. It will be held on November 9th and 10th. And this is a time, in case you haven't heard already, where you can either just show us what you've been creating or offer it for sale to the community. So, and you do need to register, pre-register for this. There's limited space. Okay, and Sue talked so much about our fall program, so I don't feel I need to say much about that, except a reminder for our greeters to pick up that box and hand out those study guides to people as they go past. And if you're online or just don't get, just don't get a study guide, the questions are posted each week in the Thursday email update, the questions for that week. And we will have a loving kindness workshop. It's in 2 weeks. Rabbi Jamie Arnold, who you've met before, will be here to do a workshop totally tied to our book for the fall. And who are our prayer chaplains for today? Lisa and Angela. Thank you, Angela, for being here. And we are grateful for our prayer chaplains. They enrich our prayer life and our journey so much. So grateful for you to be here. And now let's stand for our peace song and prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until
everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good.